Hello everyone, this is Dr. Abdul. Today I'm glad to talk about layers, how to create layers, and how we assign colors and line types. I'm gonna create another video after this one, and we'll talk about more advanced tools in layers, how to make layer state, filter, group, and a lot more. To demonstrate creating layers, I use AutoCAD 2022. However, the same steps you can use for any other version. Let's get started and talk about basic skills in creating layers. It is very important to create and organize your drawing. If you draw everything on one layer, that's considered a big mistake. So be careful about this and let's see why layers are important. I'm gonna share with you one of the project in AutoCAD and you can practice as well. Let's open it from the beginning, explore sample drawings. And here you will see database connectivity, floor plan sample. You notice if you go to the home tab, we have the layers. We have on the top this all layers. There are several layers created. And each layer has a name. Each layer has a color. Okay, so that's why you see several colors. It's not only to make it nice and beautiful with colors, but we need to make it organized, and this is the most important thing. So let's see what layers make, why we create them. The first layer, here we have door and 3D. If I just turn off this layer and let's turn off some layers, what you notice with the drawings? As you are turning off layers, and this bulb means turn off. As you are turning off, see you're hiding. I didn't delete, I just hide. See here, several elements. Okay, so now all these elements are hidden. The importance of this is to organize the drawing so you hide what you want to hide and make it visible to other things. Now, if I put them back, they are back to the drawing. Okay, and this is the way to hide and bring them back. Now, another thing here, we have the freeze. A freeze similar to hide, but when you freeze a layer, you don't load it each time you open the program. So if you don't need it for a long time and you have a big project, it's better to freeze it. Lock, there's a lock here. You can lock the layer or unlock it. And this way you will not copy it. So if you need to select several things, you will not copy it, you will not edit by mistake or change it. So we do have several features that we will talk about. Now, as you see, we have layer 0, and this is automatically came with the software. So layer 0 is by default is there. We cannot delete it. If you right click on it to delete, you will not delete it. Door, this one, we give it a name door. And you see if I just click on it, so the doors will be hidden. Now, the first thing we need to see here, the importance of that. Let's give you another example. This is the doors, and as you see, when you click on it, you will get the name of the layer on the top. I'll press the escape button and click on another line. See now, it's changed. Escape, click another line. Okay, so you can tell what the layer is for each object by clicking on it and see the name. Now, if I click on, let's say this door, it's the I door, and here you find the properties is by layer. Some students change the colors from here, and this I consider it sometimes as a mistake. So I always prefer to keep this by layer, unless in some cases you need to give it a color not by layer. I'm gonna pick this one, this layer, and I will show you here. I'm gonna isolate. Okay, so now I just have these doors. If I copy, Control C, I'll select Control C, Control V, I just copied the doors. Okay, so having layers actually will make your drawing organized. You can copy anything, you can move anything, so you don't have to copy and edit all the drawing. You can just pick and choose, you can filter, and I will talk about more advanced tool in the next video as well. So this is a general idea about layers. Let's see how we can create them. So I'm gonna close the samples now, and I will open a new blank drawing. To start creating layers, the first thing we need to go to the Home tab and we navigate to the Layers group. In the Layers group, we do have several features. I'll click on this arrow. I just see layer 0 and it's by default there. If I need to create several layers, I click on Layer Properties, and this is one way. Click on Layer Properties, and there is a little icon here. If you hover over it without clicking, you see some information. As you see here on the screen, it's a new layer, or Alt-N. So if you type Alt-N, this is the shortcut, or you can just click a new layer, and this is layer 1. Several students leave that as it is layer 1 and go ahead. Also, I don't recommend this. Please give it a name. So you need to organize it, organize the drawing. So you need to see what you're drawing about. If it's a house plan, so you need layers for walls, for windows, you need doors, you need dimensions, you need text, you need furniture, you need bathroom fixtures. Think about what layers you need. You need to draw similar objects on one layer. Okay, and this is the idea. Similar objects on one layer. If you have different line types, the different line types could be on one layer. So think about it. There is no right or wrong, but you need to be logic with this. Now, let's say here I give it a name. Do not leave it layer 1. Okay, this is walls. I give it a color under the color column, and here the colors also you can just maximize it to see the whole work. Click on the colors. You can give it a color. Let's say that I need the walls to be purple, so I'm gonna give it purple, or any other colors from here. Click OK. Now let's create another layer, and you see here when you create another layer, it will take the last color there. I'm gonna make these doors, and I give it another color. Let's make that green. Now another one, windows. Okay, so you need to create several layers. Now let's say that I need to create construction lines. So I need to change the line type. It's not continuous. As you see here, the line types are continuous. So let's make here construction. Okay, and here I will give it a color. Let's make it red. You go under the line type, you click on continue. Then you need to click on load to bring more line types. As you see here, you do have several ones. You can click on any one to bring it. Here's the hidden. If you are looking for hidden, you click on hidden. There are also dashed. So we do have dash, we have center. You do have several ones. Let's click on the hidden for now, and you can choose any of them, and you can create several ones. At this point, you need to click again to select it, and then click OK. So now you notice that it is hidden. If I need to make another layer, I go to new, and here, for example, dashed. Okay, but always please give it a color, line type, and a name. This is very important. I can bring the color. If I need it green, I put it green, or if you need it yellow, you just make the changes. Then you change the line type, load, and here I make it dashed. You choose the one that you want. Here I do have several ones now since I loaded the first one before. I click on it. As you see, we do have different line types. You can maximize this to see the rest. Now I had several ones. We can exit, and as you see here, the current layer is 0. I do have several layers listed. I'll choose which layer I need to start drawing with. Now if I go over the doors, I will draw the doors. And if you have some doors, like let me bring some of the tool palettes, which Control 3. I'm gonna bring here some doors. Notice here, Control 3, you can get that tool palette. or also the tool palette. If you need to get it, you can get it from view tool palettes to get that doors from the architecture. Now this door on the doors layer, okay. However, if I go over windows and bring that back, here's the windows and I bring it there. Now I'm gonna bring another window. Okay, so here I got several windows, and now I will bring another door. See here what happened, that I brought the door, but actually the door in the windows layer. That's wrong. So the door should be on the door layer. To change that, you can click on the object that you would like to change and go to the layers, click on the layer to transfer it or move it to the second layer. So here I do have now doors in the doors layer, and I have windows in the windows layers. Now let's see the dashed lines. If I go to the dashed lines, and this is the layer, I'll draw here a line. Here it is dashed. If I go to the construction lines, here's the line. Okay, so see the difference here between the lines. Actually, sometimes what happens that if I zoom in, I'll find it is dashed, but actually it's not visible. So if the scale is not correct to my drawing, I do have several options. I can change the line type scale LTS. Okay, so line type scale LTS, I can type it on the command line, hit enter, then it changes. By default it is 1, but if I need to make it 505, I can make that note here how it's changed. If I put LTS 2, look at that, it is changed as well. LTS 5, so now this is bigger, but this is not correct. If that is the situation and you do have several line type scales, what you can do is options. This is one of the solutions that I provide if you need to change the line type scale for several ones. Like for this one, 5 is good, but this one is not good. So what I can do, I click on the line, right click, properties, or control 1. Okay, and here you go. I got the property. Let me move it to the left side so you can see it. And okay, now as you see with the properties, we can change several elements. The first thing, by layer. Here's by layer. If you need to move it to another layer, you can. Watch that. You can move it to another layer. Layer is construction, and this is the line type by layer, and this is the line type scale. So if I need to make this one 5, I can change that to 5, and watch now it is larger. Let's make the second line, which is the yellow, and here the line type scale is 1. Let me make it 0.5, okay, or probably 0.25. See how it is getting smaller. 0.5 again. So this is according to your need. Let's make it 0.01 and see now it looks like solid. Okay, so it needs to be larger than that. If you put it back to 0.5, that will make it larger. So 0.02, notice the change. 0.04, notice the change. So when you change that number, you will find the difference. Okay, but it's very important to select it to make this modification. Now, we've talked about how to create layers, give them name, color, and line type. Now, if you need to rename it, you can select it, right click, and you have several options. Here is the rename layer. So it is very important to rename the layer to make it a good name, match your project. If you have Windows, make it Windows. If it's like dashed, hidden, construction, text, blocks, meaningful name according to your project. Layer 0 cannot rename it. If you click on rename layer for layer 0, you will get a message tell you that the following layers cannot be renamed. 0 and extra reference the another thing here, dependent layers. Now if you click there, you do have different icons here. So the first one is turn off. If I click on this one, make it off, for example, the construction, which is that layer, I'm gonna turn it off. Now, it is the current layer, so let's see what message I will get if I turn the current layer off. Okay, I will get this message telling me the layer will be turned off. What do you want to do? This layer, do you want to keep it on or off? Maybe probably by mistake. Usually the current layer will not be off. So let's keep that on. Let's move to the dashed. The current is construction. I'm gonna turn off the dashed. Turn it off. It's no longer there. It's hidden, but actually it is there. It's not deleted. I can bring it back. Okay, so it is back. Now off, on. Doors, off, on. So I can bring it back. It's not deleted. It is there. Now, what is the second one? Next to the door, I do have a freeze, or though in all viewports. A viewport is something about the layouts and the prints, and I have another video talking about the viewports. Now, if I freeze it, okay, so the walls now is a freeze. What happened now? If I need to freeze a layer, I will get another message tell me that it's a froze, we cannot make it current. Okay, so let's make that again on, and let me freeze one of these layers, doors. Okay, it's hidden again. It's similar to the on and off, but what the difference is, it will not load with the program. So if you do have a big project, it's better to make it a freeze if you're not using it. So it's not a lot of load on the program. It will not take a long time preparing this layer each time while you are working. So it's like putting it in a sleep while you are working with the rest because you're not using it too much. Let's put that back. Let's talk about the lock. If I lock this one, look now at the color. It's a little bit lighter, and we can change that transparency. I will show you that in the next video, but for now I just need to show you here what does that mean. Let's say I need to delete something. I select all of that and I delete. These doors are locked, will not be deleted. Okay, so if I hit the delete, I cannot delete these ones because they are locked. So it is a good way to protect your drawing. If you finish the layer and you don't need accidentally to delete it, be sure to lock it. It is a good way to lock layers. Now, if you copy, if I move or copy, let's copy or everything. Let's copy everything here on the screen from point to point. Okay, I didn't copy the locked layer. So this is what the importance of locking a layer. You will not copy it, you will not delete it by mistake, you will not modify it unless you go back and unlock the layer. Okay, so basically this is the most important things about layer. Let's talk about match. And here we do have match property. Let's say that I click on match property and I click on this window. See this little brush that I got? Then I click on the door. So what happened now? I match the door to the layer. So this door now in the windows, and that's not correct. Let's use match property. Click on the door and click on the second door and hit enter. Now it's back. So match properties, one of the things that you can modify if you draw on another layer that is not correct, you can move it to the correct layer by using match properties or by clicking on the object and putting it on the correct layer. Okay, or another way, Control-1 to open the properties and make it here on the correct layer. You can change that. Okay, so today in this video we've talked basically about creating layers, assigning colors and line types, how to rename them, which is the basic things about layers. And I will create another video talking about more advanced tools in layers. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you like it, click the like button. Please subscribe to my channel to get notified when I publish the other videos. Thank you so much, and this is Dr. Abdul.